shows a small country, and it's a numbers game. We haven't got as much work over there as we do here, so it has to work in well. And I kind of made a few enemies along the way, and I had no sparring partners for a little bit, so I had to change my note there and make it a working relationship, and that's what it is now. It's a lot more free fight.
Welcome to the No Limit Boxing podcast. We are on the road. This is the first time we've ever done it overseas, and I'm joined by my man Liam Wilson. We're here in Vegas, where he's deep in training camp. Liam, how's training going?
Training's been going really good. It's what we've come for: lock in, discipline, and no distractions. We're dialed in, and everything's running really smoothly so far. Good sparring, and we're looking forward to that fight date, March 29th.
We have got our No Limit on Fox card coming up March 6th, start the year for us, so it's a big one. We lead straight into March 13th and then straight into March 20 before we head over here for Liam's fight, which is on the Friday the 29th, which is airs Saturday the 30th over in Australia, live on Fox Sports, so it's going to be a great one to watch. We saw, there's plenty happening in your division at the moment. We saw Ashaki Foster just mentioned after his last win that he's interested in fighting the winner of your fight. Now I know you're zoned in on this fight and you don't look past that, but what are the thoughts of that fight?
Yeah,
sitting ahead in the future.
Seeing the tweet of it on social media, and it just pumped me up. Mid camp, seeing that, it made me go, oh, that's a possibility out there after this fight, and I got to get past Valdez first. I'm confident in that, and I'll take on all comers, world champions. All I want in my career right now is the hard fights. I think I've shown to the public that this is where I best perform. So that's what's one more?
I like it.
So that's me.
Look, I got excited when I saw it, and I think that like you said, it is great motivation for what lies ahead. I'd have to say that you're obviously one of the most resilient blokes in Australian boxing. The comebacks that we've seen from you over the last few years, to see you being able to bounce back from adversity the way you have. What is your motivation? What is your drive that helps you do that?
Look, when I lost, I simply thought, it's not the end of the road. A loss is just a tally on the rap sheet. It's just a simple loss, and I know I can always bounce back from it. I've got two beautiful kids at home, so me giving up after that would be pulling from the sea. There's no way to direct them in life. So I think on top of that, and me loving fighting itself, it was an easy thing to do. I take a lot of pride in my fighting ability, and me to lose the way that I have in the past just always gives me that motivation to come back and prove the doubters wrong, but also just to show the fighting fans of the world that I guess who Liam Wilson is, and I really do love. It's not necessarily boxing to me. It's just the fight. I've said it a few times in the past. If I didn't find boxing, or boxing didn't find me, I would definitely find my house in something else. Be MMA, Muay Thai, kickboxing. So wherever it is. I just love fighting. I love combat.
We'll just pause there for a second. All right, we're back again. Look, we're this. As I said, this is our first time recording overseas. We're doing it live from the gym, so there's plenty of things going on here in the gym at the moment. But what you just said was really interesting to me about the fact that you'd do anything, kickboxing, Muay Thai, whatever it is, you wouldn't care. That sort of attitude. One thing that I do love about you is how you've got that reputation for your sparring back home. What is your mentality when you go into sparring like that?
I think it all come back from when I was a little kid. I used to always go on there with a mindset to hit and hurt, and make the other person crumble. But as time goes on and it becomes a working relationship with your sparring partners, it shows a small country, and it's a numbers game. We haven't got as much work over there as we do here, so it has to work in well. And I kind of made a few enemies along the way, and I had no sparring partners for a little bit, so I had to change my note there and make it a working relationship, and that's what it is now. It's a lot more free flowing.
So what about when you come over here? Do you take that same approach when you're sparring over here as well?
I did last time. When I went to Washington last year, I had that exact mindset. I think there's a bit of a pride and a bit of a pissing contest. I was trying to stamp my dominance from the spars, and I think I did a pretty good job of that. And it probably wasn't the best thing to do in the long run. To do that back to back, years after years, can take a toll on the body. So I've pulled it back since then, especially then. Pulled it back and just focusing on good honest work. Yeah.
So how hard is it as a Australian boxer coming over here where there is so much talent, so many people that are lining up looking for opportunities? You walk into a gym with all these great fighters. How is it for you? Is it daunting coming in, or is it you see that as a challenge?
Yes, it's a challenge. If someone hits hard, I usually hit hard back. I'm not a punching bag for anybody, and it is what it is. It's good though. Like these people here that are watching me along ringside are fight fans, or maybe fans of me. So it's good to see. I started as a little kid in boxing and never really dreamed of getting this far. Always had the hopes of becoming a world champion, and got to be training in Vegas and doing my camp over here. It feels very surreal.
How have you found the American public since you've come back this time? Given that your first fight against Navarrete, amazing fight, and you actually got a standing ovation after the fight, even in defeat. They still were out of their seats clapping you for your performance.
Yeah.
Have you found that they're a lot more supportive of you, or a lot more aware of what you bring to the ring?
Absolutely. I think even though I lost, I gained a lot of fans, and we've seen them everywhere while we've been here. Going to get a haircut down the barbershop, getting coffee in the gym. A lot of randoms have noticed me, so it's good. I come over here last year in February, pretty unknown. I was a big outsider, an underdog, and I've announced myself to the world with that performance last year, and I hope to do that again on March 29.
So what's the key for you reckon, with Valdez?
Give him the hardest fight of his life. I'm gonna box smart, and I'm sure it will turn into a proper war. I'm sure it will. I think in his last few fights he's trying to box, but I think deep down he's a Mexican warrior, and that will come out at some point, and I'll have to match that.
I felt like in his last fight he was looking for that hook, that Liam Wilson hook.
Yeah, I think he was doing that as well. I never had to prepare for it. It's gonna be interesting because I think I would be careful of it. I need to be careful of mine. It's gonna be a bad one. He's got the power. He's got knockout performances, and so do I. But we've got smart and stick to the game plan and box smart.
We're going back to the same scene of the crime as the last title shot. How does it feel for you this time, coming into Arizona, coming into Phoenix, and fighting in that exact same arena that you fought Navarrete? Everything that you've already experienced.
Yeah, it feels good. I think because I have a bit of familiar with how everything is ran, the venue, the people. I've been there before, so just like anything, I've got a bit of familiar face to it all, and I've also got fans out of it. I'm in this position because of my performance last year. This isn't about redemption or revenge. This is purely up to what happened last year. I fought good, and we're both come short against Navarrete. We're going to prove it on fight night. Who still has it? I know I do. I'm still young. I'm eager. I'm motivated. His best years, I wouldn't say I passed him, but he's done things in the past, and he wants to sort of remind the world that he's still got it. But he's going to do down his fighters, and they come fight us.
Valdez, obviously a great fighter, got a really good team around him. Trained by the same trainer as Canelo Alvarez. What are your thoughts on that?
Look, it's going to be a tough corner to beat, but my corner's tough as well.
I do like it.
My corner's tough as well. They're up against it as well, and I've been built from the ground up, and I've proven that time and time again. I'm ready for this fight, and it doesn't matter who's standing across from me. They're not in the corner with him. They're not in the room with him, I should say. It's just Valdez and me. Forget Eddie Reynoso, who his name is. Forget Canelo. It's me and Valdez.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking on your corner, Benny Harrington, great team that you've got around you. Who have you got over here with you for the whole trip, for the whole camp? And
Benny's been in my back pocket since day one. He's been by my side every session throughout the whole camp. My good mate Red just arrived. There he is. Hey Red, what's happening? And Red
Good time.
Red just come now.
Yeah,
so.
see, he wanted me to give him a shout out too, so that's he must have prompted me for that.
It's timed perfectly.
Yeah.
Red's here now, so he takes care of. He's been riding on me my food. Just make sure everything runs smoothly. And Glenn comes next week. That's the best manager in the business. He's put us in a good place, and everything's running really smooth over here. And I have to owe it to him. I'm really excited, and camp's it almost feels too good at the moment. But touch wood, everything's going to plan. I've got my team around me now, and it's good to see it finally this year.
Oh, absolutely. I love your team. I reckon you've got one of the best teams in boxing. Really enjoy watching the way that you work together, and I think that there's a really good vibe around you at the moment, so I'm looking forward to what lies ahead. Outside of what you've got coming up and, you know, what you do yourself, who are some of your favourite fighters to have watched over the years, and is that actually who inspires you to do what you do?
The first person that inspired me was Joe Fraser. Joe Fraser, I think that's where the left hook came from. Everything from the left side. Just sort of translated over the years, and I sort of made it my money punch. It's changed over the years. Like Marquez, Morales, they've been two greats of mine to watch. And I'm fighting the modern day version of them right now. Valdez, Navarrete, and to me that feels very surreal. Like they're the guys I looked up to, and now I'm essentially fighting the modern day version of them. And I feel like I'm one up, and we're about to be two.
I believe that too.
Yeah. And I feel it's just so surreal because as a kid it was just a dream, and just they were my little heroes. And now I'm fighting the modern day version, and I'm excited to be here and just motivated for what lays ahead. Other fighters would be Mickey Ward. You know, like my fighters aren't always the world champions or the best fighters on the planet. Sometimes it's just a story of where they came from, the things they had to overcome, and just something about them that clicked with me. Mickey Ward is definitely one of them. And of recent years, my favourite would have to be probably Sergey Kovalev. I really love him, big puncher. Always tend to try and fight like them when I'm watching them. And but I've had to peel that back and find my own style.
Now you talked about that left hook. I reckon it's amazing when the power that you land. What's it feel like for you when you land that sweet punch?
It feels good. Like it's I know when it does land, it will do damage. So it just has to land properly and on point. But I have to set it up. It takes a bit of groundwork to get there. But it feels good. It's something that I don't necessarily have to work on. I don't have to put too much work into it now because I've been doing it for so many years, since I was 10 years old. And it's just it's a part of my arsenal.
Well, look, I don't want to hold you up too much from your train. I know you've got a really tight schedule.
Yep.
I appreciate you giving us the time while you're here.
Thank you. And
no doubt we're all supporting you. March 30 back home in Australia, live on Fox Sports. Liam Wilson, Oscar Valdez, massive fight, massive fight. I cannot say how big this one actually is, and it's huge for Liam. It's huge for Australian boxing. Really appreciate your time. Stay tuned. We'll have plenty more coming in the coming weeks. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. Follow, like, subscribe, comment. Feel free to share as much as you want. All platforms, wherever we're at. I still don't know where we're at, but thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.